segregated schooling inflicted on the well-being of black children. Her classmates and professor dismissed the idea and mocked her, the only female in her class. Offended but not discouraged, Murray penned an essay, "Should the Civil Rights Cases and Plessy v. Ferguson be overruled?" It ended up in the NAACP's reference files. 10 years later, NAACP counsel Thurgood Marshall and his legal team used it to prepare for the 1954 Brown v. Board of Education case by incorporating psychological research on the effects of segregation on black children. Murray's ideas won the day. The Supreme Court unanimously ruled that racial segregation of the public schools violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. The NAACP's psychological research shines forth in Chief Justice Earl Warren's majority opinion. To separate them, black children, from others of similar age and qualifications solely because of their race, generates a feeling of inferiority as to their status in the community that may affect their hearts and minds in a way unlikely ever to be undone. Murray earned her law degree from Howard in 1944, then went on to earn additional degrees from University of California, Berkeley School of Law in 1945 and Yale Law School in 1965. This training armed her for the fights against social injustice that lay ahead. During the 1960s, she authored several legal documents of lasting importance to women's rights. In 1962, her proposal to re-examine the applicability of the 14th Amendment to state laws and practices which discriminate on the basis of sex per se, argued that the 14th Amendment bars discrimination on the basis of both race and sex. In 1966, the year she co-founded the National Organization for Women, she also co-wrote, with the lawyer and activist Dorothy Kenyon, an ACLU brief for White v. Crook, in a case that challenged an Alabama statute restricting jury service to males and whites. The ACLU prevailed, and the appellate ruling that followed barred the exclusion of women on juries in all states. These documents laid the groundwork for the formation of the ACLU's Women's Rights Project. Established in 1971 by Columbia law professor Ruth Bader Ginsberg, the project would blossom under the leadership of the future Supreme Court Justice. Murray suffered from mood swings associated with her thyroid disease. Although they caused serious disruptions in her life, she did not write about them explicitly in her memoir. Just beneath the surface, however, are hints of perhaps an even greater challenge: the pain and stigmatization she endured for her woman-loving and gender-nonconforming behavior. Like many African-American professionals of her generation, she did not discuss such matters publicly, but her references to her own boyish physique and bobbed hair, her preference for masculine clothing, her warm vignette of Peg Holmes, and her loving portrait of her life partner Irene Barlow clearly indicate her multi-layered gender identity. In January 1973, Murray lost Barlow to cancer. By September, she had resigned from Brandeis University and entered the General Theological Seminary. The year after she earned her Master of Divinity degree, she became the first African-American woman to be ordained an Episcopal priest. Through it all, she kept writing. In 1970, she published the poetry collection Dark Testament and Other Poems, dedicated to the memory of her friend Eleanor Roosevelt, and she continued to work on her memoir. In October 1983, Murray told the historian Blanche Wiesen Cook that the writing was going well, but the chapter on Barlow's death had been particularly difficult. That December, she told me that finishing it was priority number one, so she was not accepting any writing assignments for the next 12 months, now that she was finally free to do the creative writing that she longed to do. During these months, her great-niece, Karen R. Ross, watched her labor non-stop at the typewriter. Murray entrusted Karen with the responsibility of shepherding the manuscript to publication should something happen to her. In January 1985, it seemed that the memoir might be derailed when Pauli Murray was admitted to Pittsburgh's Presbyterian University Hospital with a preliminary diagnosis of pancreatic cancer. Comatose for 8 days, she was not expected to live. Karen came to say goodbye, and when she saw the maze of tubes connected to her aunt's body, she took Pauli's hand and whispered into her ear, "You deserve to finish this book. You need to fight. You've always been a fighter." Pauli's eyes were closed.